So, when we were young, we used to say we want to be this when we grow up, we want to be that when we grow up. But listening to Gitanjali and then reading about Ridhima, I kind of feel we need a regressive curve here. I want to go back to my childhood and be what these kids are being today. Let's bring on Ridhima Pandey, climate change crusader, who has been writing to the Prime Minister, flagging the issue of climate change, talking about the nightmare of going to school with an oxygen mask, all the things that adults should be talking about but do ignore. Hi, Ridhima. How are you and where are you
Hi,
today?
hi, I'm good and I'm at home, to be honest.
Okay, you've got to speak up so we can hear you a little better. Thoda zor se boliye. Tell me how you got interested in this issue of climate change and the air we breathe and so on.
So it's like for me, the very first thing, like the effect that I see of climate change, which made me sort of like work towards it, was the 2013 Kedarnath flash flood. So when the flash flood happened, it was kind of like really devastating seeing it. It's like it was really kind of like emotional feeling. I was really scared, like seeing the things up on television, seeing people losing their pay, like losing their homes and everything, seeing kids crying because they lost their like small world that they had, they lost their families and stuff, and they don't know what they're gonna do now. And to be honest, like seeing the destruction that happened because of the flash flood, and it's like somewhere coming to know of that, like all the like cloud burst and everything happens. It's like it affects the people a lot. I somewhere got really scared of floods, and it's like whenever it used to rain, whenever it used to thunder, I used to get scared a lot. It's like the whole night I would be like when it used to, like uh, sorry, it's when it used to like thunder, I used to cross my fingers that clouds shouldn't burst, like flooding shouldn't happen. So that's why it's like I somewhere wanted to stop. That's why I somewhere wanted to stop flooding, and that was the time when I asked my parents about like what climate, what was the reason behind that flash flood, and can you tell me more? I want to stop flooding. It's like that was the time when I didn't really knew that I can't stop flooding, but I had a feeling from inside that I want to stop it. And after a time, it's like when I came to know about global warming, and like the way I was introduced to the phenomena, I wanted to learn more, and that was the thing when I started. And when it comes to air pollution, it's like last year on 14th November, Children's Day, I went to Delhi for like because I had some events. So I was really excited, to be honest. I was like, I really
Yeah.
want to go there. I really want to enjoy. But what really happened was like the time when I stepped out and the time when I was out from the airport and when I breathed the air when I was inhaling it, I started like literally I started coughing because I had somewhere low, like weak immune system. So I started coughing, and it's like I was like I can't really breathe. I was telling my dad I can't really breathe, and it's like why is it happening? It's like because of the air pollution. I knew it, but I didn't knew that it was so like that. So it's like when I went to my sort of like hotel, I had everything. I had air purifier and stuff, but still, but still, it's like I was still kind of like coughing, and literally like after time and time, I just like started coughing. I started crying, and then that was it was a time when I was not really able to breathe, and I was literally crying that I want to go home. So that was the time when I experienced the pollution myself. And after that, when I was going back, seeing the people out on the street, not even having enough clothes on, not even like they do struggle for food and everything, and seeing them breathing that toxic air and don't even having a like single resource for them to protect themselves, and they don't even like most of them don't even know that air pollution is somewhere like affecting them a lot, and they can do like they can take action to stop it. That was the time when I sorted like got affected because of it a lot, and I wanted to do something, at least not to just protect myself or the kids over there, but also to protect the poor people out there so that they can also breathe in clean air.
So I know exactly what you mean because I live in Delhi and I became asthmatic actually in my early 40s just because of the air I breathe. I never used to be asthmatic. Was otherwise a very healthy person. Ridhima, you've been writing to the Prime Minister. You've been writing to world leaders. You've been writing letters to the United Nations. You're sometimes compared with the global Greta, but I'm sure you see yourself as Ridhima and you don't like those comparisons. So when you're compared with Greta Thunberg, how does it make you feel?
It's like, to be honest, it's like I really sort of, I won't say that I don't really like it because it's like somewhere people comparing my efforts to her is a great sort of like comment, because she got vegan, she stopped flying out and stuff like that. So she really made out many changes and like from a small like a movement that she started herself and making it a global movement is a great thing. So it's like it's really great that people do comment me as an Indian Greta Thunberg. But to be honest, it's like I had my own story, I have my own identity, and somewhere it's like my work is a little bit different from her because it's like I don't strike a lot because it's like somewhere what I feel it's like striking is a way which can really bring out a change. But it's like people don't really care of like what you how you're striking or stuff. And but I do feel like holding people or governments accountable in courts or writing them like taking out legal actions can could bring a change a lot more like in a faster and easier way. So it's like I do have my own identity and sort of like the way I started. So I would
Yeah.
love that people would call me as Ridhima Pandey, but yeah, I would appreciate that fact that yeah, they have been comparing with me with Greta Thunberg.
Well said. I wanted you to say, the world should be saying Greta is India's Ridhima Pandey or the world's Ridhima Pandey, right? It should be the other way around. Now, I want to ask you, like you started doing all this when you were 11. When I was 11, I was reading The Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton, playing basketball and hopscotch, and kind of that's it. What made you so wise?
It's like for me, seeing the floods, and it's like because having my parents, it's like working in the same field, and it's like because it's like in my home, the sort of like the every time talk was like this thing has happened, we should do this, we should do that, or this is the thing we should be talking about, or it's like today these many trees were being cut off, so it's like we should do something for that. So it's like seeing those things and seeing my parents sort of like working towards this issue, and it's like every time sort of like my it's like what really used to happen. It's like my way talking point and sort of like my weekends used to be at like rescue centers or like at wildlife reserves or like going to safari. So it somewhere made me more like really more connected towards it. And since like hearing my dad and my mom saying that environment is very important in our life, you should respect that fact that you are getting mostly all the resources to survive on this planet from the environment, and animals are also the species. It's like they also have right to live, so you should never hurt them. You should respect the fact that it's like they do care for yourself even. So it's like seeing those things really made me sort of like into it, and it really had me sort of like really connected towards environment. And it's like when I learned about that, government has a crucial part in sort of like making people sort of like follow the rules because they have the power to like make the laws to like somewhere modify them, and they also have this responsibility that if someone is not following up the rules properly, they should make them follow it on ground, and they should take actions against them. So that was the thing which I felt is like somewhere missing, and somewhere having those many power, those many resources, they're not even trying to protect the environment was the thing which drives me towards it.
Right. I just have so much admiration for you kids. We had Gitanjali Rao, who won Time Kid of the Year earlier this year as our opening speaker. And of course, BBC has called you one of the top 100 sort of people to watch out for in India. You're sharing that space with adults. And here I am, this adult. My mic just fell off. And while I was talking to you, I was nervously putting it back. And like, you're so together and you're so sorted. And I just think I can learn so much from you. What is your message for all the young kids who are listening to you?
It's like what I would like to say them is that in the coming decades, you are going to be the one inheriting this world. So it's like you should make sure from now even that it's like what are you from the others, because it's like to be honest, right now I don't even want to imagine how things are going to be in like in coming decades. If we don't stop the way we are like behaving right now towards the environment, because just destroying other things, not taking care of like the biodiversity, not making sure that, not even like feeling that like animals are also an important part in our life. We should
Yeah.
respect that fact that we are getting all of the resources from the environment. It's like we are just destroying up the things. So it's like somewhere I want them to act now, because it's like at the very end, it's like the decisions taken today are gonna decide or are gonna shape your future. So we have to make sure that decisions that are taken today are really worthy and are like taken by keeping the thing in mind that yes, it's like kids are gonna be there. It's like how it's gonna affect us in long term, and it's like we should be the ones speaking out for ourselves, because just waiting out and sitting at our homes and it's like somewhere waiting out that someone would do something, it's not gonna happen. It's like we would be just sitting up and it's like dying and no one is gonna do anything, because what I feel is like most of the people from the older generation are really selfish out. So I would
Right.
ask the kids to be selfish and to work for themselves.
Okay, Ridhima, great, fabulous, fantastic. The kids are stealing today's show. Now, I know I want to tell our viewers and our audience, Ridhima is going to be back with us this evening, and she's going to be taking over my job. That's right. She is going to be moderating one of our key panels. So we're looking forward to seeing her later in the day. Bye for now, Ridhima, and thank you so much. And see you later, okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am.